Welcome back to Story Orbit N. Let me start with a question that might make some listeners panic. Have you ever said a sentence in English, felt super confident, and then someone looked at you like you just confessed you were an alien? Because today, Tom and I are diving into the world of common English mistakes. We're talking about those sneaky little errors that everyone makes, even advanced learners.
I feel attacked already. The alien thing has happened to me, but usually because I say something strange like, I slept with the window open and now my throat feels like an abandoned parking lot. People do not know what to do with that sentence.
That is, poetic in a very uncomfortable way, but perfect for today. Today, we're going to produce wrong sentences and fix them. And listeners, your job is to try spotting the mistake before we explain it.
Right. And some of these mistakes are classics, generational, passed down from student to student like some cursed piece of jewelry in a movie. For example, the mistake I hear all the time is, I am agree.
Oh, the famous I am agree. Listeners, this is super common because in many languages, the translation uses a verb that means to be. But in English, we say, I agree. No am. If you add am, it sounds a bit like your opinion is a physical condition. Like, I am hungry, but for agreements.
I love that image. I am agree like I have a medical condition called strong opinions. So, let me produce a wrong sentence and you fix it. Here goes. I have 30 years.
Classic mistake. Very common. The correct English structure is I am 30, not I have 30. In English, we use the verb to be for age. So, listeners, remember that one. You can say I am 30 or I am 30 years old, but not I have 30, unless you mean you own 30 objects. 30 cats, 30 goldfish, 30 problems.
I would love to own 30 goldfish. That feels powerful. But anyway, let's give them another. How about this one? She told me that do not worry, everything will be fine.
That one happens because people forget the little word to. The correct version would be, she told me not to worry. Listeners, the structure is tell someone to do something, and when the thing is negative, you put not before the to. So, not to worry.
Right? But let me add another mistake that comes from the same family. Many students say, she said me that, and no, you cannot say that. You say, she told me that or she said that. These two verbs do similar things but with different structures. So, told needs the person, said does not. Easy.
Okay, let's throw in something fun. The mistake I hear constantly is, I live in the center city. Sounds like a superhero headquarters. The correct form is city center or downtown depending on the style you want. Downtown is more American. City center is more British. Center city sounds like the headquarters of a meteorologist.
You know, someone listening might actually live in a place mysteriously called Center City. If so, your city is probably magical. But for everyone else, say city center or downtown. Let me add another common one. People say, I am boring, if they want to say they feel bored. But that means something very different. I am boring means I am not interesting, which is probably not what they want to say.
Exactly. Bored is the feeling. Boring is the thing that causes the feeling. If you say, I am boring, you might accidentally confess your personality flaws, but if you say, I am bored, that just describes your mood. Listeners, say that out loud. I am bored. I am boring. Hear the difference.
Now, Jessica, let me test you. I will invent a sentence with a mistake. Here goes. Can you borrow me your pen?
Borrow me is incorrect because borrow and lend are opposite directions. You borrow something from someone and someone lends something to you. So the correct sentence is, can you lend me your pen or can I borrow your pen? Listeners, this one is super confusing because many languages use only one verb. English makes you think.
Oh, English always makes you think. It wakes up your brain like a cold shower. Here's another incorrect one. I look forward to meet you.
The mistake is meet. After look forward to, the next verb must end in ing. So I look forward to meeting you. That little ing is essential. Think of it like a cute accessory that completes the outfit. Listeners, say it out loud to memorize it. Look forward to meeting you. Good.
Now let's ask the listener something. What is a mistake you often make in English, even though you know the rule? Think about it for a moment. It is okay to have repeated mistakes. That is how learning works.
Absolutely. And speaking of repeated mistakes, I have a collection inside my brain of common mistakes people make when describing future plans. Many learners say, I will go tomorrow to the dentist. The mistake is the word order. The correct version is, I will go to the dentist tomorrow. Time expressions usually go at the end.
Yes, but there's one more twist. Sometimes the best structure is not I will go. Sometimes you use I am going. For example, if your appointment is fixed, you say, I am going to the dentist tomorrow. It sounds more natural. Listeners, both are correct, but the second one is more common for arranged plans.
Okay, next mistake. People say, he told to me, but you cannot put to there. The correct way is, he told me. The verb tell already includes the idea of giving information to someone, so the to disappears.
Let me try another wrong one. I didn't went to the party.
Oh, that is so common. After did not, you must use the base form. So the correct sentence is, I didn't go to the party. Listeners, this rule is universal. Did plus base form, never did plus past form.
Great. And while we're in that area, people often say, I didn't understood. Same problem. Did plus base form. So it is. I didn't understand. Easy rule, but mysterious mistakes happen when people are nervous.
Let's produce another wrong structure. Everyone can try to catch the error. Here it is. I am studying English since 5 years.
Oh, that one is everywhere. The mistake is the tense. English uses present perfect for actions that started in the past and continue now. So the correct form is, I have been studying English for 5 years. And notice for, not since. Since is used for points in time, like since 2019. For is used for periods, like for 5 years.
Let's pause for one moment to help listeners breathe. These rules can feel heavy, but remember something. It is not about trying to be perfect. It is about learning how these patterns work in real conversations. That is why we create mistakes on purpose today. Painful sacrifices for your learning journey.
Yes, we are grammar gladiators today, fighting incorrect structures for your entertainment. Let me give another example, a wrong one. She is married with a doctor.
The mistake is the preposition. In English, we say married to. So, she is married to a doctor.
And here is another one I hear constantly. I am interested to learn English.
Mixing up interested and interesting again. The correct sentence is, I am interested in learning English. Interested describes how you feel. Interesting describes something outside of you. And after interested in, use a verb with ing.
Now, listeners, let me ask you, have you ever said something like, I am costumed to waking up early, and then felt confused because people looked at you funny? That happens because the correct word is used to, not costumed to. Used to means something is normal for you. And after used to, the next verb ends in ing. For example, I am used to waking up early.
Yes, that is a great one. And related to that, another mistake is people say, I used to can do it. That is incorrect because used to cannot be followed by another modal verb like can. The correct sentence is, I used to be able to do it. More words, but clearer meaning.
Let's switch to pronunciation mistakes for a second. Desert and dessert. Desert is dry land. Dessert is sweet food. And the trick is that dessert has two S sounds because desserts are so sweet, you want more. S. A silly but useful memory.
I like that. Okay, moving on. Wrong sentence. She is more tall than her brother.
Another classic mistake. Some adjectives already form their comparative without more. Tall becomes taller. So the correct one is, she is taller than her brother. This rule applies to most short adjectives.
Yes, and while we are here, let's correct this one too. My house is more big.
Same rule. Big becomes bigger. So, my house is bigger.
Here is another mistake learners often say, I didn't know that. And we already covered this, but it is so common that we repeat the rule. After did not, you must use the base form. So the correct sentence is, I didn't know that.
Let's create a mistake with prepositions. I will arrive to the airport at 9.
The mistake is arrive to. In English, we say arrive at for places, arrive in for cities or countries. So the correct sentence is, I will arrive at the airport at 9. Yes. And one more, people often say, according to me, which sounds strange. The natural way is, in my opinion. According to is used for external sources like studies, reports, or experts. According to the report. but not according to me unless you wrote a scientific paper about yourself.
And now, for a fan favorite mistake. I am going to home.
In English, home behaves like a special word. You do not need to put to before it. So the correct sentence is, I am going home. No extra word needed.
Let me add another good one. I am studying in the night. But the correct version is at night. And if you say during the night, it means something happened repeatedly in the night. So at night is a general time expression.
Let's make another big mistake that learners always ask about. Here it is. She works as an English teacher.
The error is A. Before words that begin with the vowel sound, you must use and. So the correct form is, she works as an English teacher.
Yes, and please notice it is the sound, not the letter. For example, university starts with a letter that looks like a vowel, but the sound is a Y sound. So you say, a university. Tricky but fun.
Now I want to ask the listeners a reflection question. When you hear these sentences, do you recognize your own mistakes? That is good. Recognition is progress.
Absolutely. And here is another mistake. I am going to make you a question. The correct expression is ask a question. Make a question is incorrect.
I want to invent a tricky one. The incorrect sentence is, I didn't used to like sushi.
Ah, that mistake happens a lot. After did not, we remove the ed from used. So the correct form is, I didn't used to like sushi, without the D.
Another fun one is, people is talking. That is incorrect. People is plural. So the correct form is, people are talking.
Yes, and the same applies to the police. Police are investigating, not police is investigating.
Now let's try one from pronunciation again. Wrong sentence, but actually wrong pronunciation. Many learners say comfortable as comfortable, but the natural English pronunciation is something like comfortable. Fewer syllables. English loves reducing syllables like it is trying to save time.
Speaking of saving time, learners also make mistakes when asking questions. For example, they say, where you are going. But correct structure puts the verb before the subject, so it becomes, where are you going?
Yes, and with do questions, it goes like this. Incorrect, where you live. Correct, where do you live?
Now let's test the listeners again. Incorrect sentence, she has less friends now. Think, what is the problem?
Let's reveal it. The mistake is less. For countable nouns like friends, we use fewer, not less. So the correct sentence is, she has fewer friends now. Less is for uncountable nouns like water or time.
Here is another problem sentence. I suggested her to take a break.
Suggested cannot be followed by a person directly. The correct structure is, I suggested that she take a break, or I suggested taking a break. Both structures work.
Here is another wrong one. I lost my bus.
That sounds like you misplaced it in your pocket. The correct verb is miss. So I missed my bus.
Now another. I will explain you the problem.
Explain does not take a person directly. You say, I will explain the problem to you.
And one more. I am going to bed early tonight because I am very tired, so I want to sleep well and... Wait, I think that sentence is correct but extremely long. The actual mistake many learners make is, I go to the bed. That is incorrect. The correct way is, go to bed without the.
Good. And to continue with articles, learners say, I love the nature. But English treats nature as an uncountable concept. So the correct version is, I love nature. No article.
And one more. My favorite one. I have more free time than before, but I use it in study English.
The mistake is, use it in. We say use it to plus base form. So the correct version is, I use it to study English.
Okay, listeners, we are close to the end, so let's recap the vocabulary and expressions we touched today. We covered things like the difference between lend and borrow, bored and boring, married to, interested in, arrive at, arrive in, used to, look forward to meeting, fewer versus less, and a lot of common mistake patterns like did not, plus base form. We corrected wrong sentences all through the episode so you could train your ear.
And now your turn. Leave us a comment with one sentence uses something you learned today. Maybe use look forward to, or avoid a mistake you usually make. Practicing and writing helps you remember the rules without thinking too much. Bye!
And that wraps up today's Story Orbit In episode. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one. Bye.